I came on in a few seconds early just so that people could populate and so that we could get started on time. I hope all of you are well. Please say hello in the chat so that I will know you are here. Uh, so I can say hello. All right. See, there are a couple of you coming. It's a good day. It's warm outside. It was 77 at 7 o'clock this morning. I know those who are on the West Coast, um, on, in the lower part in Phoenix, that's laughter for them. But for us, this 77 and the humidity, my. But good morning, my joy. Pray you are well this morning. Good to see ya. Good morning, Miss Hall. I hope you are feeling well. Please know that I am thinking of you, praying for you consistently. I'll get back out there soon. All right. Well, it is 10:45 and there are 7 people here. I don't know who you are yet, but I'm glad you're here. Please stay. Hey, sunshine. All right. So, today we're going to talk about setting boundaries and finding peace. Boundaries. The mere mention of that word sounds like something you have to do to put up barriers, but it's really not that. Boundaries are what you do to care for you. Good morning. Love you, Miss Cross. Boundaries are what you do to care for you. Uh, please know that people will put on you whatever you take, whatever you allow yourself uh, to ingest, to digest, to receive. People will give it to you. Mhm. And the only person that can control how that continues or doesn't continue is you. Luke 16:13 says that no one can serve two masters. Either they will love one and hate the other, or hate one and love the other. And I know that doesn't sound like a boundaries conversation. Oh, but it is. For when we do not set boundaries that are godly, godly aligned, and that take care of us, then we begin to serve the master of those who are on the outside, those who are pulling at us, those who want us to do this and to do this and to do that. And there's always going to be something that wants to pull you in a direction, but you've got to line up with what you know God has for your life. And we can't be too tired from all the other things that are being pulled at us. That's not only the doing, but the emotional pull. And I'll talk about that in a second. We can't be so torn by that and pulled by that that we fail to be and to do and to walk in the purpose that God has given us. So we must set boundaries so that we serve one master. A lot of times the boundaries we need to set are not physical ones, are not action ones, are not I'm not doing that, but they're emotional boundaries. There are those who will be in your life and will pull and drain and be toxic in your life. And the boundary you must set is I am not going to let toxicity, we talked about that last week, infiltrate my life. If you got negative going on with you, my best answer to you so that you do not overstep the boundaries of peace that I'm cultivating is to say that I will pray for you. It is not to dismiss people, but to also not allow their troubles to become your troubles. That crosses a boundary, and it's one that you let cross. We let cross. I am learning that there are people, there are situations, I can't fix it, and I'm not going to try. And so, therefore, there's a boundary there. You can walk right up to the boundary, but you cannot cross it. And when you get ready to cross it, you will feel my pushback because we're not doing that. There is nothing that is going to disturb my peace because if I allow my peace to be disturbed, then I'm no longer doing what I've been called to do. So it has to be intentional, not negatively intentional, um, not shady intentional, not passive aggressive intentional. What I mean by that is that sometimes we don't really want to face what we really have to do, and so we find some passive way to send a message when we could have been direct. The reality is you can only give what you have to give, and you cannot give so much that there is nothing left for you. Yes, we care for people. Yes, we give of ourselves. But when the giving of ourselves takes us to a place where we are hurting us, then it's time to put the brakes on the give. Find that place of centering and remind ourselves that I can't love them if I'm not loving myself. So we've got to set boundaries intentionally. Intentionally. Not, oh, I think I better not do that. No. Here's what I'm willing to do. Here's what I'm not willing to do. Sometimes when people are going through and they want to talk, just let them talk. Don't try to fix. Because when we try to fix, then what we end up doing is taking on a problem that is not our own. And we've overstepped our boundaries for our lives. It's a balance. It's a balancing act, but we've got to learn how to do it. You're exactly right, Joy. You cannot give from an empty cup. So we have to be restored. We have to set boundaries in order for restoration to happen. Personal boundaries, spiritual boundaries, emotional boundaries, physical boundaries, all of it is necessary. It does not mean that we are cold and uncaring. You can love and still set boundaries. I love that statement. You can love and still set boundaries. My love for you does not change because I set a boundary. I set the boundary for my own survival. We've got to get to the point where we no longer think that in order to say that I love you, I have to hurt. Love does not have to hurt. But far too often in our culture, in the way that we look at love, we think that if it's not hurting, if it doesn't hurt sometime, that it's not really love, it's not really sacrifice. Well, that goes both ways. And so we've got to learn that if we're going to be in relationship with others, that setting healthy boundaries for our lives and them setting healthy boundaries for their lives and us not crossing theirs is important. And it makes us better in relationship than if we are pressing the boundaries all the time and becoming a place of toxicity. So listen, go forth today. Set some healthy boundaries for your life, starting with yourself. Set some boundaries for yourself. I will do this, this, and this, but I will not do that. I will go here, here, and here, but when it gets to this time, I'm shutting it down. It's a difficult lesson, and I'm learning it with intentionality. And it's making some people in my life uncomfortable, and I know it. And I'm not trying to hurt them, but I am trying to love me. So there will be some boundaries. There will be with intentionality. And if there's question, then we'll talk about it. But just like I want you to be the best you can be, I need for you who are in relationship with one another to want the best reciprocally. You have to have not only me time, but God time. But time, Jesus is our example. Jesus took time to shut it down and to recenter. So set some healthy boundaries. Know that when you set healthy boundaries, you find some peace. Even in the midst of the struggle, even in the midst of all you have to do, even in the midst of what you have to accomplish, when you set healthy boundaries, you can get it all done and you can still have peace in the midst of it, no matter how hectic it is, because you set boundaries that didn't push you to the max so that you could then not go forth to do what your purpose is. God bless you. Heaven smile on you. I pray that this helps someone today. You can't serve two masters. You can't serve what everybody else wants and then do what God wants and what you want at the same time. It just doesn't work. You can give of yourself, but you do not give of yourself to the point that you are empty. Because when you give to the point of emptying, you have nothing left for yourself. And then you're looking externally, and sometimes not to good places externally, to find your equilibrium. Set healthy boundaries, find peace, and be encouraged. God bless you. See you soon.